What's up, guys? Chances Rumors here, back at the TR headquarters. Let's just give you a sneak preview right
This
here.
room was the TR headquarters. I would never work for you guys again.
Alright, we're just going to give you a sneak preview right here. There, as you can see, looking through your screen, in an audio.
In the worst room.
We're recording audio, but you can still see this somehow, magically.
Yeah.
Just like...
It's like in the Leicester vlog, you could see our dieting water bottle.
Yes. But anyway, we're going to be reviewing the Premier League weekend. So, start off, Hull City against Leicester City, a 2-1 win for Hull. You know, this just shows that what Leicester did was truly a miracle. It really was.
Officially scared of football now. This team has no chance of surviving. Survives, wins the league, and then starts off the campaign losing to the worst team in the league. This chain of events is ridiculous. It's unprecedented, and it's made me afraid of football.
To be fair, on Hull, they didn't play bad at all, considering the amount of what's going on. The owner wants to sell the club. They have 12 senior players, which they all played, right? No, they played. I think 2 of them were youth academy players. They played, who made their first debut. The man that scored, the guy that scored was, I think it was Hernandez and Diamande.
Yep.
They both did the bicycle kick, and then the third one, the second one was Snodgrass. And then obviously that penalty that Mahrez had, it could have been called out because it was outside the box in my opinion. It was probably a free kick, but then Leicester did convert from a penalty. But that everybody's talking about that one goal Hull scored.
The overhead kick. I mean, we don't know who scored it. Was it Abel Hernandez? Was it Diamante? They both.
But it's still a nice goal, no matter who scored. But I mean, to be fair, Hull, you got to give them some credit here, beating the former champions. Jamie Vardy, I don't know where he was. You saw, if you watched that and you saw that one time the ball came into him and he started to like spin, he completely missed the ball. It's just like, what is this? Is he in year 4?
Well, one thing that I said about it was that when you're watching a comedy or sort of thing, that the writers would take an event that you expect to happen and then make it twice as exaggerated for a comedy. Like everyone's laughing, what if Vardy's a flop? Well, the comedy writer would go and make him like doubly a flop, if that makes sense. Make him, in essence, so ridiculously what you'd expect him to be.
Yeah.
Or that it's comedic, so people expected Vardy not to do as well. But
I mean,
the way
just considering how
is ridiculous.
No, it's just if you look at it, whenever he's gone to teams at the start, he's flopped, and the next season he's done well. With Leicester, when they got promoted, when they were in the Premier League, that was a season he didn't do too well. Then the next season he became top goal scorer.
Yeah.
So I think this is another season where he's going to struggle. Maybe next season he'll pick it up. But we have to wait and see. I think, you got to wait for 4 more games, and then I can probably make prediction if I think Leicester will finish bottom or...
Bottom.
No, like bottom.
In the relegation area.
Like 15th or something like that. I think you got to give it... Let's see how they play against Arsenal. I think that's when you can start making a prediction. But that moves us on to a game which nobody really found entertaining, which was Burnley and Swansea.
Yeah, I mean, Swansea side last year, it's been significantly weakened from what it was. I mean, that Swansea team lost Ashley Williams, they lost Gomez, they've lost
a lot of good
players in that team. It's gotten weaker.
They lost Ayew.
Lost Ayew, that's a big one. And the players they brought in Llorente and Baston. They're great strikers, but
and they brought in
not enough.
Llorente.
Llorente and Baston. They're not enough. They don't make the team as strong as they were.
You would think that Llorente would, just considering he played for Atletico Bilbao.
Yeah, you would think that, but looking at the squad now, it's weaker than last year. So it's a team that barely survived relegation, got weaker, and it still beat Burnley. So I think Burnley needs to step up their game if they want to survive.
Because who did Burnley sign?
Nobody.
Give me a signing that was world class for that team.
Sean Dyche said, "I'm struggling to make signings. I cannot make signings."
You look at Crystal Palace. They made a good signing, which was Mandanda. He is world class. Yeah. You look at West Brom. Who did they sign? Nobody.
Absolutely nobody.
Yeah, nobody. Middlesbrough. You look at them. They made some world class signings. They've got
Valdez.
They've got Valdez. They've got some great players they brought in. And I think that moves us on to talking about Middlesbrough because they drew 1-1 with Stoke.
Yeah,
I think that's not a bad result for them at all. Stoke is not a bad side whatsoever. They have Shaqiri, who did score in that match.
Yeah.
They've got a well-rounded team. I think they could challenge for maybe that sort of 9th, 8th position.
Yeah, I think that Middlesbrough were not the hardest team to play against for Stoke. Yes, Stoke should be challenging, but I see if they're going to go anywhere, it would be right at the edge of the top half. Because if you want to finish that high on the par of teams like Everton and West Ham, you need to be able to put in a better showing against Middlesbrough.
But where do you think against Middlesbrough will finish?
I think they'll finish on 15th. I think I said my Premier League prediction 15th, 14th kind of area.
I think for sure they'll survive relegation.
Yeah, no.
I think they'll get
no problem.
sort of 12th, in my opinion.
I mean, I think you look at who is probably above them. There's a lot of teams that could finish above them.
Yeah, there are. That is true.
And I don't know how well they could do. Stoke, of course, I think Stoke should theoretically do better than last year, because last year was their first season transitioning from the Mark Hughes sort of
Era.
Into his possession style from the way they used to play under Pulis. They've been transitioning to Mark Hughes' possession style, and for the first season, obviously the transition would be tougher. I think now they've gotten better players to play that system. You've got players like Joe Allen and this Egyptian winger Ramadan Sobi, who are just great at the ball at their feet. That's definitely improving specifically towards the style that he wants to play. But do I think they're going to do significantly better? No, I think they're going to do worse because the competition is better. If they can bring in a proper striker that could put games like this to bed, maybe a Berahino, maybe someone better than Berahino, you bring someone like that in, then
Berahino still West Brom.
Yeah, then Stoke will progress. But if you don't bring in the striker, I think Stoke will just stay where they are.
Let's talk about the next match, which is Crystal Palace and West Brom. A 1-0 win for West Brom. Crystal Palace is one of those sides I think will get relegated, despite them having Mandanda in their team.
I mean,
I think defensively,
Crystal Palace,
they need to improve.
Alan Pardew was the worst manager in this league.
But he's good at dancing.
Find me a manager in this league that's worse than Alan Pardew. You will not find one. He was terrible last year. He got you to an FA Cup final. If he didn't, he'd be sacked. He's a terrible manager. He can't do anything. He's utterly useless. And West Brom at home, people are expecting West Brom to go down. Yes, they have Chinese investors. Yes, I said that they would stay up, and then I changed my prediction after I spoke to Ollie, Mr. Walshy. He changed my opinion on that, because West Brom, Tony Pulis is expected to be the first manager to get sacked. And he's already gone to Selhurst Park, and he's gotten a win. A very functional win. That is a ridiculously damning assessment.
West Brom's team isn't bad. You've got Rondon in there. You've got some good players. You look at Crystal,
but it's completely unstable in the sense that if Pulis gets sacked, who are they going to bring in to keep them up? There's nobody that can keep them up if Pulis gets sacked. So Pulis already is under pressure. The team's under pressure. The team should be getting relegated. Logically, if you look at it, they're probably a team that could be likely to go down. And they've gone to Crystal Palace, and they beat Crystal Palace in their home ground. I think Crystal Palace have a long way to go to survive, and I don't think they will.
So let's talk about Everton Tottenham.
Yes.
Oh, damn it, that hair. Let's talk about Everton Tottenham. 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
In that match, I believe Everton scored first.
Everton opened up the scoring through Ross.
Lloris got injured.
Tottenham dominated the entire game. I felt they dominated the game, but they weren't clinical. This is the 3 o'clock that I watched. So they dominated the game. They were not clinical. It's the opposite of last season, where last season, even when they were not dominating games, they could still win the matches. And it's not a good quality to have at all. It's a very negative quality. It's not able to finish off games. Tottenham are going to fall into that. That's going to be a big, bad thing for them. I think Everton, just see the way they played against Tottenham, they had quite a few injuries. They could still bring in new players. Once they do that, they are set to challenge for the Europa League spots, or even better than that, because they did so well. Ronald Koeman already, he's already got them playing very well right off the bat, and it's only going to get better. I mean, Bolasie is only the start. It's a big signing.
Yeah, a big signing. 25 million. The inflation on the market is just increasing.
It's only going to get bigger. They've got Ashley Williams. They've got Yannick Bolasie. They've got interest at GUI.
I thought United would pick him up, Ashley Williams. I think they should have.
They were. I mean, there was a YouTuber named Devil's Terrace who was really lobbying for it, but a lot of
what? Terror?
Devil's Terrace. And he's basically. He really said, I want Ashley Williams. And I was watching this live as it happened. And the live stream comments were all no to Ashley Williams. And I was defending Ashley Williams. Because he said, you use the numbers. You've made signings Man U have made so many signings based off numbers before, and it's worked out for them. Man United have always trusted their manager. So why did you trust Mourinho with Bailey and not trust them?
Bailey.
It's Bailey.
Bailey.
Shut up. Why did you trust Mourinho with Bailey and you're not trusting him with Ashley Williams? It doesn't make sense. So Ashley Williams would have been a great signing. Turned out the link was not true. Turned out he was never going to go to United, but it would have been a good signing. Would have been a good signing for Arsenal. Might have stopped them losing 4-3.
I think people like maybe United look at his age, 31. They don't want him. But I think they need a good defense, and I think Ashley Williams could have.
For Mourinho, age doesn't matter. I think look at Zlatan. Zlatan will be one of the best players in the league this year. He's
but with Zlatan, he's going to be the best. But Ashley Williams, you're not.
I would say I know he's going to be good as well because he's just got that experience. He's just got that ability. It's like you can't see a player like him having a flop season. I don't.
It will get interesting if Wales qualify for the World Cup. I would like to see how he would perform in the World Cup because it's completely different pressure compared to the Euros.
Yeah.
But for now,
he will improve them a lot.
But so we're done talking about everyone talking now.
Yeah.
Move on to Man City, Sunderland.
Southampton,
Man City, Sunderland.
Southampton.
Fine. Gian wants us to talk about Southampton, Watford because he's an avid Watford fan. So, you think they're going to relegate the season, Watford?
Look, I've heard that managers to adapt to the Premier League or whatever the hell nonsense I've heard. That's not true.
It's like players.
It's Walter Mazzari has come in and he's done well already because sure they shouldn't have sacked Flores. They should not. But Mazzari's numbers are very good. He's a very good manager. He has very good numbers. If that's a good indicator, I think Watford will not do better than last year, but they can't possibly do worse than last year.
Yeah,
I don't see it possible. Southampton also a new manager, Claude Puel. I've never heard of Claude Puel before. His numbers are not nearly as good as Mazzari.
But I still think Southampton have a good enough of a team.
Southampton's a good enough team, and
no matter what manager. Well, no matter what manager. I think they.
All these some clubs are so well structured that whichever manager comes in and out, it doesn't matter.
I think Southampton's one of them.
Southampton is one of those clubs, and they have a great history at producing good managers because they produce Pochettino, they produce Koeman. You could maybe Claude Puel 5 years down the line getting the French job because how many top French managers are there out there right now that have not had the French job? Deschamps,
legend. Absolute legend tactically.
I want to see these new young managers come in from the league and do well, but I don't think that he will do as well as Pochettino or Koeman.
Yeah, for sure, but you got to give him some time.
Yeah, of course. But my prediction is he won't do as well. I don't think Southampton will get top half, and I think that Watford will finish roughly where they finished last season. It won't improve. It won't get worse.
All right. Man City, Sunderland. David Moyes is back. Aguero scored a goal from a penalty.
Yeah,
first goal from the penalty.
He missed 2 penalties last night against Steaua Bucharest.
Who won?
Man City won 5-0 and he missed 2 penalties.
And he missed 2 penalties.
He scored a hat-trick and missed 2 penalties.
What the heck?
I don't know. He scored all 3 goals after he missed both penalties.
Alright, but anyway. Talk about
3-1 to Mönchengladbach.
Yes, they won. Come on. They beat them 3-1. They're gonna win 2-0 away from home.
So I think that wasn't as emphatic a message we could have gotten. They won through a penalty and a lucky own goal. I think if you want to be sending a message out, that's not the right one. It didn't show a solid Man City. It didn't show a powerful Man City. But then they went to Bucharest and smashed up Steaua. Steaua, that's what they call it. Steaua, they have the Romanian thing. So that's
Stanchku.
It's a good indication of that they weren't performing at their best against Sunderland, but they still functionally beat them, and that's enough.
It's interesting to see David Moyes back because I think if you could get Sunderland maybe in sort of that 15th position, I think it'd be a good season.
Yeah.
But I don't know why where did Sam Allardyce go? England job?
Yes.
Rip.
I wish that Pep Guardiola's first game was against Sam Allardyce.
Yeah. That'd be the funniest thing.
He learns what it means to be a man.
All right. So that moves us on to the Bournemouth Manchester United game. What a goal by Zlatan!
What a performance by United! 3-1
win over Bournemouth. How do you feel about this again? Because I know you're an avid Manchester United supporter.
You, mate. I'm a Chelsea fan. That's not going to change.
All right, but talk about this.
They are right off the bat.
They're back.
They're back. That's true. They're really back, and they're so powerful as well. They're so they just have that air about them now, that fear. By having you take that team that was so strong, you add Pogba to that team. How strong is that team going to be? It's going to be ridiculous. It's frightening, and that's what you want to be as a club like Man U. You want to be able to frighten the opposition, and they're doing that. They're doing that very well. So that's a very good start for them, I think. It's only Bournemouth, but the way they emphatically dominated the game. One thing about Mourinho's tactics, the specialist player philosophy, is that these specialist players will work with you well
now,
from day
they
one.
will work now.
Day one.
But you look at it. You don't. If you look at it as Pochettino does,
What Guardiola does.
it's more future and long term. And
He builds a team.
he will build. Even
really
if he's not good
represents
now. Okay, look at Manchester United may be good now, but Man City's team will be better for years to come,
I think so.
and it will become a Manchester United sort of team like when they were dominating.
Yeah, it will be like how Sir Alex did it. Sir Alex's formula is very much like you take younger players and you mold them into the player that you want. You don't either you do that or you go out and buy the finished package. And when you buy the finished package, it comes with all of his already, his complete persona is already invented. So you can't change it. Whereas when you get players like Guardiola is getting, you're gonna build them and you're gonna mold them to fit your team exactly. Your team will be exactly a representation of you, whereas Mourinho's teams are possibly not always because they're just a collection of specialist players.
All right, so enough with United. That moves us on to Liverpool. 4-3 against Liverpool. 4-3 against Arsenal. But yeah, I think Arsenal were winning. They switched off in the second half completely. I think
Wenger made a big mistake after the match. He said we're not physically ready.
they're not mentally ready.
He is wrong. All right, they are not mentally ready. They're not mentally ready. They spend a lot of money, probably more money than their actual signings, hiring medical experts, which Wenger then goes and tells them that they're wrong. Koscielny is fit. Ozil is fit. Xhaka is fit. What does he do? He tells the medical expert they're not fit. They come back from the Euros. They have to rest more.
That's logic.
That doesn't make
That's
sense.
logic.
Why? Right? That doesn't make, then you have to bring on Xhaka later on because Ramsey got injured.
Why is he bringing on Xhaka?
And then Xhaka in 24 minutes committed more fouls than everybody else in the league that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not. You know why? Because he doesn't think about. Everything is wrong with Arsenal right now. Everything is wrong with them. They are literally shooting themselves in the foot consistently. Flav from Ball Street said there's no fan base which is more detrimental to their team's results than Arsenal's.
Because it's always on and off with Wenger.
I mean,
You
now
gotta
I think
have a
it's
manager
Wenger
you're
out.
gonna stay with for the whole season.
It's Wenger out now, and he's not going to get a new contract. He knows he's done.
But
he's been terrible.
Look at it.
I think
Arsenal lost 2-1 to West Ham on the start of the season. Everybody was Wenger out. Halfway through the season, we're gonna win the league, lads. We're gonna win the league.
Yeah, I really hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they really have a proper season where they're bad.
Yes, where they finish 8th.
For their own sake. They need to have a season where, alright, your Wenger dynasty, whatever the hell you think it is, which it's not, it's done. You think about your future, you need to spend money. You have to do it. Sure, people are saying that, I spoke to an Arsenal fan yesterday. He said that, it's about winning in a certain way. I'm like, that doesn't matter. And then I said that, when was the last time you won the league? He says, well,
look, if it's winning in a certain way, look, you can't know. It's not winning in a certain way. Look at Portugal. They scraped wins and they won the Euros. It has nothing to do with winning in a certain way.
Yeah.
You can win in any way as long as you win.
Yeah, and is winning in a certain way winning with players that are not naturally winners? That's impossible. You can't give them the mentality. You cannot. Xhaka is the only one with the winning mentality, and he's being let down by his teammates.
Yeah, I think.
Ozil has the winning mentality. Let down.
Now I'm worried for Xhaka.
Be worried for Xhaka, be worried for Ozil, be worried for Alexis.
I'm worried for Xhaka in terms of the national team. I want him to play well for our national team.
Yeah.
But then now, you see Petkovic is not taking. Petkovic doesn't take it. Indler didn't play one start of the season. He snubbed him as captain. Didn't even bring him to
Xhaka
Euros.
will play. But
I know he'll play.
His teammates will let him down consistently because of the mentality there. He said, I asked him when was the last time you won the league. He said we're going for consistency. I'm like, you
They've
can,
That's
but teams like Atletico Madrid have just come up recently. PSG come up recently. They don't stop at consistency. They keep building. They keep building. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Consistency, fourth. Why do you want the same position every time? Champions League. What do you do in the Champions League? It's consistency. You finish in the round of 16 every time. That's consistent. Yes, it is. I know. But don't you want to make it further? Don't you want to build a team that can actually win the league?
The point is, in this climate, when you're not improving, you're getting worse. That's mentally they are completely in shambles. Liverpool didn't have their first team either. Moreno is still a liability at left back. He cannot defend. You have Sturridge who was out.
I was honestly surprised they got those 2 goals.
Matip that was out. Sacco that was out. And they still managed to dominate Arsenal. To properly dominate. And Arsenal switched on for a bit and they scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I was surprised they got those 2 because it looked like it was gonna.
It's just
Liverpool
that when they have the right mentality, they will win. But you can't make that mentality. You have to get players that already have it within them, and that's important. I think that they need to be signing top players, just because the mentality they will bring. Like you saw Zlatan.
Yeah, Mane as well. Mane,
yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Scored a goal.
You look at the Zlatan signing. What above all, he's going to bring the strong mentality. I think Wenger needs to go out and buy a couple of players like Zlatan.
Yeah,
but he will never do that.
He's not. Because
you need a different manager.
Additions.
You need a different manager. You need a different character of a manager. I think Wenger's time is up. He doesn't know how to do this anymore, and I think that they will not finish in the top 4 this year based on that performance.
All right, so that moves us on. All right, so that moves us on to the last match. Oh my god, damn you, Eric. All right, that moves us on to the last match of the weekend, which was Chelsea West Ham 2-1 win. Chelsea did pick up a late goal from Diego Costa. You can maybe argue shabby goalkeeping on the part of West Ham.
You cannot.
I think he could have saved it.
I mean, if you mentioned it was a lucky goal, I said how was it different from Zlatan's?
It wasn't. I didn't say. I don't think it's a lucky goal.
Yeah, I think it's a lucky goal. I said it's not different from Zlatan's. It was perfectly in the
What
corner.
a lucky goal would have been if it had bounced off the crossbar and he had volleyed it in.
Yeah, but it was so accurate into the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lucky to be on the pitch. Should have gotten a second.
He's lucky to have that much space to take the shot.
No, because he comes out of the box. Collins is not going to follow him because Collins is not fast enough. That's a very well thought out move. You push out of the box. If Collins comes out, you get the runner in behind. You're done. If he stays back, then in most strikers in the Premier League will not be out.
Again, it went through Collins' leg.
Yeah, it did. That was a bit like, but the fact that was a perfect shot, in a sense that if Collins had come out with him, that would create space to make for Hazard to be going in behind, or Batshuayi to continue his run in behind. But by staying where he was, most strikers in the league will not be that accurate with a shot, and Costa was, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it really was. So Chelsea did pick up a 2-1 win there. Conte with some beautiful emotions.
Yeah.
Some emotion. Con emotion.
I think that's something that I really enjoyed about the match, which is seeing how, should we say, tactically sustainable Conte is.
Yeah.
Like with Mourinho, those tactics are not. They don't.
I don't know, but Ivanovic is finally playing as he should with Conte. I think I don't know what Mourinho was doing with him. He was just messing. I don't know. With Ivanovic, he played him at centre back, right?
Yeah.
And Conte plays him at right back.
Yeah.
He can play centre back, but
No. He only put him at centre back when he had injuries. Just the way in which he told Ivanovic how to play didn't work. He wants Ivanovic to play in a way that did not work for him. I think one thing Conte said is, I will build the best system for the team that I have, which he has done. He has done it very, very well. Whereas with Mourinho, it's I'm going to sign a bunch of specialist players to play the way I want to play. That's never going to work. It's not going to work. At a club like Chelsea, where we cannot get those top players, we're never going to get Pogba, we're never going to get Stones, never going to get Zlatan, never going to come to Chelsea. That's why he failed. I think Conte's tactics think far more long term. He has that ability just to think at a much longer scale and to think about the future, and how his tactics do not require certain players that will cost the club. I think his tactics will work with whatever he inherits. That's why it's so good. That's why I love watching that game. I really love it. Because the way we played and this tactical sustainability, I think Conte is going to introduce.
I'm ready for Conte versus Mourinho. I want to see that.
I want to see Conte. I hope you don't buy anymore, because it's one thing to win, but it's even better to win when you spend a lot less on your rivals.
Yeah.
That is a better thing. maybe that's what Arsenal are going for. But come on, man.
Alright guys, thank you for watching this review, Premier League weekend review. If you did enjoy, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and we'll see you next time.